clear. So what they do is come up with this interactional model of communication. And what do you notice that's different about this model?
There's back and forth.
Okay? So it's back and forth. So we now have channel going in this direction and in this direction, right? So we're indicating for the feedback. What else? What does this mean? What do you think that circle means? Any idea? We're going to talk about this a little more in detail later on, but that indicates the context, where the communication is happening. Okay? So, does it matter where it happens? Well, we'll come back and we'll visit that again in a few minutes. What about this? Instead of encodes, it says behaves. Really what we mean here when we say behaves is that do you communicate in other ways other than through language? Remember we talked about language. Encoding means putting your thoughts into words, and that is one of the ways we communicate, but don't we communicate other ways as well? What are some other ways that you communicate besides through language? Body language, right? Body language. So if I make a certain gesture or a certain facial expression, whatever, those things can communicate. We're going to talk about nonverbal communication more in just a little bit. We talked earlier about how you kind of present yourself. So the way you dress communicates, right? The way you comb your hair, the way, everything you do communicates in some way or another. So we're going to get into that a little bit more in a minute. But that's what that indicates. And so what does that model look like? You think that more accurate than the linear model?
It's more in depth than the linear. I mean, it's derived from it, so it could both be accurate. This one's more in depth than the linear.
Okay. More in depth, has more to it. Let me ask you a question. All right. What's your name? Maria, right? Maria, if you come up to me after class and you're talking to me about an upcoming assignment we have or something like that, or a task or one of the speeches, something about class that you think is really important, and you're talking to me, and in the middle of talking to me, I do this. What does that mean?
You're not paying attention and you're
In
in a rush to leave.
In a rush to leave. Stop, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. When you were talking to me, were you the sender or the receiver?
I'm the sender.
And when I looked at my watch, did you decode that message?
No.
Sure you did. You said it means I'm not paying attention or I'm in a rush to leave, right?
Yes.
So you took some meaning from my behavior, right? So therefore you decoded that message. So at that point, were you the sender or the receiver?
The receiver.
Okay. Did you have to stop talking in order to go, he's in a rush to leave, he's rude? Did you have to stop talking to do that, or could you do both together?
I could do both together.
Right? You can do both together, can't you? Can't you send and receive messages simultaneously?
Yeah.
And that's kind of the problem with the interactional communication models, is that they imply that you're either sender or receiver. But we know in the real world when we're communicating, we can multitask, right? We're doing more than one thing at a time. And you can be talking to me face to face, and out of one ear kind of listen to your friends over here, hear what they're talking about, right? Or have something else on your mind. And we'll talk about how those things can appear later.